Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Core Racing Network. Tonight we are here at the Monster Mile. Dover is going to be at the season finale here tonight for the Virtual Velocity Racing ARCA series, and I mean, what better place to do it than to me this is, I know Bristol is the last great Coliseum, the concrete half mile there. To me, this is the big brother here at Dover. It is pretty much just as banked, just as concrete-y. And it's even got the own mascot there at a turn number 1, Miles the Monster, ready to chew up these cars here tonight. But we've got a big points battle that we're obviously been keeping our eyes on for quite some time this season, and it's all going to come down to the last race. Unfortunately, I don't believe we have the updated point standings, but either way, it's coming down to the same two drivers. It is Dalton Kilroe, Andrew Pileshi that are coming down to the wire. Hopefully before we get to the interviews here tonight after the race, we'll have a clear picture of who the actual winner of this series is, because it's been a great one all the way down here to the end. But we'll see. 120 laps is what separates one of those from getting a championship, whether it's Andrew Pileshi cracking through or if it's Dalton Kilroe going back-to-back. Carl Hamworth joined in the booth by Jimmy Covert. Jimmy, back here again at Dover. This is definitely a track, I mean, you've been to here in real life, but it's a fun track, but it's a test.
Yeah, it's a test. I did get a chance to kind of get a few laps out there, just kind of practicing, try to get an idea on fuel mileage. Taking another crack at it, Carl. So just, we'll put those numbers out here in a little bit, but yeah, it definitely, I don't know if what iRacing did or with the new UI, I seem to feel a lot more detail out there with my direct drive, and man, I just feel the grooves, the bumps, the everything. It's quite amazing, and it's a true test of just like being able to wrangle that car around this track. It is fast, it's high banked, the laps are, they're right around the 23-second mark, as you can see here on the qualifying tower. Fastest qualifier in the 22.9s. Now, are they going to run that all race? No. But definitely out there able to get that time in there. I was out there getting laps, and I don't know if I made the top 14, so around 23.8. So definitely a little off pace as far as qualifying goes, but we'll see how the race goes here tonight, see how they can do. Got a bunch of laps out there. Qualifying is completed, so before we go any farther and talk any more, I'll take this stuff off the screen and show you how they qualified, as there is 19 drivers on the docket here tonight, and the pole sitter here tonight will be Colin Allman in that number 67, and outside is going to be Robert Kahn. Maxwell Caldwell and Andrew Pileshi make up row number 2, and of course Dalton Kilroe right behind Andrew Pileshi in 5th place with Brandon Meyer on the outside. Tyler Hilton and Eric Blount will make up row number 4, and then Hemi Gardini and Michael Taylor on row number 5. Row number 6, John Garrett and Gordon Larson. Tim Lee and Len McNeese back there in row number 7. Ty Marasco and Justin Lewis make up row number 8. Cade Green, Todd Merkel make up row number 9. And our lone wolf back on row number 10 will be Michael Pratt. Start from the back one last time this season. We're getting ready to go green here just momentarily as the drivers take to their cars down the track, and you can see from the blimp view here, got a slight haze going on here tonight, so if you wonder why things are a little bit cloudy, and it's just that time of year, the sun's out, heat the bacon, and got that Dover mist. But yeah, I've been to this track a few times myself, and Carl called it the last Coliseum on the last track we were at. This is I think the largest soup bowl. If you've ever been there in real life, you can really tell and hear those cars, especially when they get stretched out. It is just the constant roar of the engines, depending on the car that you're out there watching. But a lot of fun, and a lot of a great time. Like I said, not a bad seat in the house. From the bottom to the top, turn 1, turn 4, it doesn't matter where you're sitting. Great place to go if you really want to watch some NASCAR or any kind of racing here at Dover. But Yeah, Carl, looking forward to it. We'll see if Colin Allman can get a victory here. The battle, obviously, the one that we're going to be watching big time is for that championship, obviously, between Andrew Pleshy, Dalton Kilroe, making it going back and forth. The big thing here is that Andrew Pleshy does not have a win.
No, and we've seen it before. We've seen champions get it done without a single win on the season, but it's not easy. But what he's done has been very consistent, and no surprise that Paleshi starting in 4th, Kilroe starting in 5th. Of course, they're basically back to back and starting this thing. I grew up watching a lot of racing here at Dover, but not on the racing oval out here. It was the Dover Downs. Spent a lot of times at the track, but not here, but betting on horse racing, for better or worse. So plenty of racing here at Dover, but not actually on the oval side of it. But we are racing here for the Virtual Velocity Racing ARCA Series season finale. Great start here from Colin Allman. Almost looked to be 3 wide off the corner there as Paleshi looked like he was thinking about going 3 wide, but no surprise here, didn't even get half a lap in, and our championship competitors are side by side. From the sounds of it, the point standings are not up to date, but what I had and what the drivers are feeling that the points is, it seems to be that it's Paleshi in the lead by 2 points heading into tonight. So it'll be very interesting to see how this thing comes down. And what would be really interesting, Jimmy, is if those wins or lack thereof actually come back to bite Andrew Paleshi, because I would assume that the first tiebreaker here, if they would end in a tie, would go to wins, and he's got no ground to stand on.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only place that he'd be hurting, but obviously being able to finish that consistently up front is a testament to Andrew himself, to just kind of, just keep being there for the hunt, to keep in the chase, and unable to pull away the victory, or maybe almost had it, but lose out on a pit strategy or whatever it may be. But keeping it close all season long, as him and Dalton have done so far. Dalton Kilroe moves up in the P number 2 around Maxwell Caldwell. So definitely moving forward, and you just got to be careful. You see Colin Allman out there, obviously running some pretty fast laps here early on, talked about this concrete surface, and I talked about how rough it is out there. It's really wear and tear on them tires, and if you don't manage the tires, you can fall back quickly. So Colin Allman out to a little over 1 second lead already here in the race. Let me get the overlays up for everybody to see here as we're on lap 6 of 7. See where we're at on the track. As you can see, the skittles starting to spread out here a little bit. Now I see a good old driver information there for everybody to see.
Yeah, and typically what we see here is what we're seeing to start the race. One, Colin Allman, fast car to start. We'll see if he's got the long run speed to keep it out there. So Dalton Kilroe getting the better right now of Andrew Paleshi. He is up now into 2nd place. Tyler Hilton taking a look here on the outside, but Andrew Paleshi sliding back through the field here a little bit and more in conserve mode. Looks like Kilroe not going to fight the 0-2 here of Tyler Hilton too much. Hilton's going to go around the outside here and easily move himself into 2nd place. Speaking of Hilton, want to send a shout out and a thanks to the series sponsors for helping out all season long and every season here in Virtual Velocity Racing. That being Hilton Crafts and Designs, Gold Line Guardians, and Fort Worth Screen Printing for everything that they do. But we got a nice size field here for the finale. Just under 20 cars out there. Looks like 19 taking the field. I think Brandon Muir had to start from pit lane. Not sure if he missed a start or what the case is, but he is out there turning some quick laps. Just turned his fastest lap of the race. Colin Allman leading the way by half a second over Tyler Hilton, who looks like he's got his sights set on getting up toward the front.
Yeah, and obviously that could be Colin backing down just a little bit too. I said it early, obviously, that his last lap was a 23.9. His best lap was a 23.8. So still running some extremely quick laps. But that's Tyler Hilton right now that we just hopped on board, going to the inside, and is going to take that lead. So, is Tyler pushing too hard, too early? We will find out as Pete slides back on a quick pace here. But that last lap being a nice 23.66. His best lap being a 23.4. So running pretty hot and heavy here early on. As you can see, well, you guys can't see, but back to the field, you can their times are right around 24 seconds, which is a lot easier pace to maintain, especially as them tires start wearing down. And you might hear some of these drivers kind of getting to a point and trying to wear that right rear down a little bit so it comes around a lot easier here. We're trying to just work that right rear tire just a little bit, kind of keeping it the car loose as the tires heat up, and as the car really gets greasy, it starts to want to push up the corner. It was pretty easy to kind of get on the gas too much and really get it in the car. We know this track to be a kind of like a self-cleaner because of the degree that the track's at and the way they typically run here. But VVR has a serious problem with having a lack of cautions in most races. So they run a lot of green flag racing here. So if you're looking for a series here on a Thursday night that runs ovals, I'm not quite sure, 100% sure what cars will be running next year. I know they're going to step into doing
I think they're running Xfinity. I could be wrong. I know they talked about Xfinity possibly being the case, and it's kind of funny. I mean, you know, we started the Core Xfinity over there in Core, and it seems to have kind of settled in there on the sixth season right now for Core Xfinity. It just seems like a good neutral car. It's not the truck series. It's not the next gen. It's kind of the sweetener right in the middle there, the Goldilocks, if you will. But Core Xfinity is not the only one. It seems a lot of leagues are really taking the Xfinity car, and even in officials, it seems like it's one of the most popular cars out there. I mean, we see on Sunday nights we had the 191 Motorsports running the Xfinity series. It sounds like VVR going to the Xfinity cars. Well, I guess going to be no longer the Xfinity cars, the O'Reilly series. It's just nothing against O'Reilly. It doesn't sound right. It doesn't feel right. But you know, I grew up with the Busch series, and I had to get over
it was the Winston Cup.
And so exactly, it's gone through several name changes here. So I guess we'll have to get used to the O'Reillys at least for now.
Yeah, it's different. I am not a fan of the Xfinity car or the B series car, whatever y'all want to call it. It was not my favorite car coming up through. I drove it to get to the A car, which no longer exists now. It's the next gen. So the Gen 6 car is the one that I really enjoyed running. It actually drove really well, and it was very close to driving the truck series. Besides a little more power and obviously, obviously faster. So, but the truck series is the sweet spot for me. If I were to kind of return back to running some ovals, I would probably settle out in that C series truck, as it's a lot of fun to drive for myself. Even now, I go out there occasionally and just turn some laps, in it. So truck's why I like it, and that's about what I think all I can do right now, Carl. I haven't driven the ARCA car in forever. The Xfinity car, I'm not a huge fan of. Been a good one here though so far. It's 1 lap 20 of 120, and I can say that they should be able to do about 50 laps per a tank here tonight. So maybe a little more, maybe a little less, depending on how much they're saving or how hard they're driving. But should be right around that 50 lap mark. So looking at a 2-stopper here tonight. But that can all change. Pit strategy kind of goes out the window if a caution kind of gets thrown in the mix. And you know, they're running here obviously on a shorter track, and 23 seconds to get around here, which means that if you come in the pits, you're going lap down. You know, that's just going to happen unless everybody comes at the same time. So hopefully the drivers here practice their pit stops. I did see some drivers kind of practice them just a little bit, and it is not a super easy pit road to get down into.
You're giving it too much credit, Jimmy. This is one of the toughest pit roads to get into, in my opinion. This is extremely difficult. I mean, you're coming down from so much banking. You got basically bring it when you're coming out of turn number 4, trying to get down into pit road. The cone is right away. It's not like you have some time to go down pit road a little bit and get the car woed down before the cone. It is extremely difficult and honest, and in my opinion, one of the most difficult, if not the most difficult, on the entire schedule for the season to get down in there, because it's just the transition coming down there with good new tires is tough. But once these guys come down there and try to make their pit stops, the tires are going to be a little bit used, and just trying to get that thing down in there safely, let alone trying to get everything you can getting in there. It's a beast. It is. It's not Miles, but maybe Miles' younger cousin there down to pick up some of the pieces. But right now, picking up all the laps led is Tyler Hilton. He's out there in the lead, but looks like Colin Allman starting to reel him back in here a little bit. It's down to 0.2 of a second, and could be a lead change here on this lap. As there you go, Colin Allman down to the inside, and the 67 back out to the lead. You wonder how much the 41, the 81, and a few others out there, how much they're saving, because as Jimmy mentioned, about 50 laps. But you wonder how much it is if you're saving, if you're using this draft a little bit here. Can you potentially make it to that halfway point and get to lap number 60? We'll see what these drivers can do here tonight. But I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in. Hit that like and subscribe, get you in touch with everything that Siren has to offer. As again, this is the season finale for VVR, and we are already down to less than 100 laps to go.
Yeah, under 100 laps remaining. Colin Allman back to the front here. Over Tyler Hilton, up 5 spots for the night. Dalton Kilroe in 3rd. Robert Kahn's in 4th. And Maxwell Caldwell's in 5th. Ty Marasco's in 6th. And Andrew Pleshy falling all the way back to P, number 7. But this isn't anything new. Like, why would you change anything from what you've been doing all season? If Andrew got the points lead going in this thing, he needs to be there at the end. And if he changes how he races now, it might not end the way he likes it. So hopefully his strategy is here just a little bit, thinking a little further ahead. I talked about that fuel and the pit strategy, and right now when they start these races, it is about how long can I stretch, how many times will I minimally need to do, and do I want to mix it up from there. And that's if a caution comes out or not. These drivers doing a fantastic job, like always. I'm keeping this thing green and clean. We're on lap number, now starting lap number 30. So yeah, good race so far, Carl.
Yeah, so far so good for the drivers out here, and it's no surprise. I mean, this is a tough track out here, and it's tough for any kind of skill level. But I'm not surprised that these drivers have already gone green for about 30 laps out here. So great job for all the drivers. But starting to spread out here a little bit, get some gaps, and you can see that on the Skittles on the map as Jimmy mentioned, and it's a little bit spread out here. Top few drivers here, the top looks like 3 are separated a little bit from the rest of the field, and really kind of the top 5 a bit spread out, as you got Colin Allman with a 1.3 second lead. Dalton Kilroe a half second ahead of Tyler Hilton now as he makes its move into 2nd place. Robert Kahn, Maxwell Caldwell for your top 5. Then you got Ty Marasco, Andrew Pileshi, Justin Lewis, Cade Green, and Michael Pratt for your top 10, as Pratt started shotgun on the field as he always does. And I mean, 30 laps in, Jimmy, quarter of the way through this race, he's up to 10th place already. We've seen that happen before, and I feel like it's uncharted territory for that 77. It's too early.
Maybe a little too early, but maybe not early enough for Michael Pratt, as he's been kind of laying back all season, taking that start and last thing to heart here, as he likes to do. Yeah, up to 9 spots, and already down for pit road for a few drivers.
I'm wondering about that. Well, it looks like Tyler Hilton with a black flag coming in.
Ooh.
That is not what the O2 wanted to see right off the bat. Justin Lewis, Michael Pratt, Gordon Larson Jr. also in the pits. So I'm wondering about that 50 laps there, Jimmy. I mean, if they're coming in here at lap 33, maybe a 3-stop strategy here is what's on the table here, not just a 2. But
obviously with 50 laps, and you know, obviously they'd have to make it 50, but and then, you know, that would be maximum. And then only being able to make it to 100, they're gonna have to stop again. So why not split it up just a little bit and ease the pain of driving on some older tires, as some of them are. But got some other people coming in right now as well. Khan, Pileshi, and Garrett, Merkel, Blount, Gardini, Green, all in the pits right now. Still out there, Allman, Kilroe, Maxwell, Marasco, Timley, and you can see Allman coming in here as well. So not stretching it too far here tonight. Allman's going to bring it in. That leaves your leader as Dalton Kilroe.
Yeah, Dalton Kilroe going to stay out there, get the lap led. But yeah, I mean, what I'm looking at is 2 stops, I think, are out of the question unless they're really short pit right now. 3 stops may be a little bit tight. I mean, you hear right there Dalton Kilroe cutting it off here, or at least clutching in through the corners, because if they want to try and make this thing on, you know, on even pit stops here, you want to try and get to around lap 40. Maybe that's what Kilroe's trying to do. If he can get to 40, he can maybe still make it a 2 pit stop race. But the way it looks right now, it looks like it's kind of locked in for 3, with that third one maybe just being a low gas and go. And you see the 41 already slowing up, coming down in there. Gets into pit lane very nicely. Only one with a penalty here is going to be Tyler Hilton for the first round of the pit stops. Kilroe coming in will complete the cycle and should give the lead back to Colin Allman, who currently is looking at about a 4-second lead over Robert Kahn. We'll see how it shakes out.
Yeah, Kilroe down the pits here finally, so maybe not trying to get undercut too much here, as he was saving quite a bit of time by, you know, gliding through the corners. But Kilroe down into the pits, which looks like it's going to really push everything back to Colin Allman there, and P02 at the moment. But you should see that car jump to the top here just momentarily.
And there you go, as Colin Allman goes by. We'll see if Robert Kahn is going to get by as well. Looks like he's not. Dalton Kilroe is going to come out in second place, and only a few takers of tires this time down pit road. Looks like Ty Marasco, John Garrett taking tires for this pit stop. Everyone else just going with the gas and go. Unfortunately, it looks like Tyler Hilton maybe calling it a night here, as he's already served his penalty. And never mind, just had to talk about him, as looks like he's now back out on the track. If that's the case, yeah, I guess it was. I guess it was only a 40-second time hold for Tyler Hilton, but back out there, a few laps down now, unfortunately, after he was just up there. Led a few laps here tonight. Looked like a pretty fast 02. He's going to have a long race to go now, and he's going to have to hope for something that doesn't happen too often here in VVR. He needs cautions.
Yeah, needs some caution to get back into it. Obviously, you can see Tim Lee won that down as well. So, you know, and that's obviously being 5 laps down. You know, 1 caution needs to happen, let alone 5. So, yeah, going to be a tough break there for Hilton getting that speeding penalty. You know, comes down to that, you know, practicing that pit entry and getting that start part done, and in this case here, obviously being a huge anchor here for at Dover. But right now, the person with no anchor is Colin Allman out there out front over Dalton Kilroe, Robert Kahn, Maxwell Caldwell, Andrew Pleshy in 5th, and then you got Justin Lewis, Michael Pratt, Ty Marasco, John Garrett, and Kate Green for top 10. Because for the race, you know, no fear, and that number is 77 of Michael Pratt. Yeah, so up 12 spots already. And Carl, I'm going to step away for just a quick second. I'll be right back.
Absolutely, as we'll keep an eye on Michael Pratt here, and I'm wondering kind of what's going on here with Andrew Pileshi is really my question. I mean, we've seen this more often than not. Pileshi just kind of falls back there in just at the back end of the top 5 for a lot of these races, and then you'll start to see him move up through the field later on in the race. But you know, how long can he sit back here and you know, kind of let this happen and let Dalton Kilroe be up there towards the lead? Kilroe is about almost 4 seconds behind Colin Allman right now, and only half a second ahead of Robert Kahn, but yeah, he's already led a lap. He's already got a bonus point for leading a lap. It may not be in line for most laps led. It looks like Colin Allman wants to take care of that here tonight. But, you know, that bonus point could pay big dividends, because right now, if they came in with Andrew Pleshy leading by 2, it's now down to 1 by default, unless Andrew Pleshy can get up there and get a lap led at some point. And doesn't look like he maybe wants to right now, maybe has the car to do so. I know we talked to him, and didn't sound like he was enthused to go to Dover here for the finale, but never know how this thing is going to play out. We're not even halfway yet. As mentioned, the biggest mover of the race was Michael Pratt, up 10 spots after starting shotgun on the field in 19th. But Justin Lewis, another one to watch. That's 7, up 10 spots, as well as he is now up into 6th place, and certainly the one that has been maybe getting under the skin here of these drivers since he's got back into the series, and really taking it to him, and not taking any prisoners. I mean, kind of got a surprise win on his debut, his return back here to the league. But to come in here, if he can play spoiler on championship night as well. I mean, I know he's got the other league that he was running, whatever the case is, but we got to see him at least for the last few races of this season and show what kind of speed that 7 has. And looks like he's maybe showing some of it here tonight as well, and working his way up through the field. We'll see if he's got what it takes to finish this season off with a bag. But right now, it is Colin Allman leading the way. Dalton Kilrow, Robert Kahn, Maxwell Caldwell, Ty Marasco for your top 5. Then you got John Garrett, Andrew Pileshi, Justin Lewis, Michael Pratt, and Cade Green for your top 10.
I'm back. Sorry. Liquid diet. It doesn't take long for stuff to go through. Had a visit with the old hospital today. But got some medication. Hopefully everything will be all right, and I don't have to go back. So hopefully, just been a rough few days here for myself. But anyways, back here to the race. Colin Allman, like Carl said, out to the front here, and kind of see where kind of everybody's at. We still have 16 drivers in the lead lap, and it's only 22 seconds around. You can see obviously Allman starting to put a few drivers down here. Obviously, we know just by looking at Allman's stats, obviously one of the higher I-rating drivers here with VVR, so has the time in probably many different cars. But out here doing a fantastic job here tonight in the 67. Out to a nice 4-second lead over Dalton Kilrow. Where he would, doing the best he can to be up as high as he can, especially over at number 81 of Andrew Pileshi, as we continue to look here as Andrew is back there in the 7th. We got around 10 lead in there. But Justin Lewis, always a threat out there, and back there in Pete, number 8 currently, and just having a pretty good run himself. I'll take the spots starting in the back. Let's see, we'll find our biggest mover. Here he is, number 77. Michael Pratt getting some camera time here tonight as he works his way around the track here at Dover.
Yeah, actually falling back here a little bit is the 77. The biggest mover of the race now is the man in 2nd, just moving past Dalton Kilrow. That's Ty Marasco, utilizing those new tires that he got on the first pit stop, where him and Garrett got new tires. They are now sitting in 2nd and 5th, respectively. Marasco working his way to the front of this field. Now he's got 4 seconds in between him and Colin Allman to run it down. But Allman has been running a torrid pacer. He's been very fast here tonight, and even with the older tires, only 0.6 of a second slower than Ty Marasco with those fresh tires. So it'll take a little bit for Marasco to catch up to him and maybe have his tires worn by the time he even gets there. But either way, we're getting about halfway through this 2nd stint, and maybe start looking at what's going to happen here come the halfway of the race, as we are already 55 laps into this thing. Only 120 laps here for the season finale, and I mean, with half the race just about gone already, you start to look and you see Kilrow in 3rd, Pleshy in 6th. I'm sure it's certainly not going to finish like that, but certainly match number 1 or battle number 1, whatever you want to consider it, is going to go to the 41 of Dalton Kilroe. So he strikes the first blow in the first half and shows that he's got a car that is going to be tough to beat, at least for Andrew Pleshy. Maybe not for the entire field, as Allman and Marasco are ahead of him right now.
We're seeing cars coming down for yet another pit stop here. It looks like there Gordon Larson. Look at that front right side, and got some damage here tonight. So getting up there, hitting that wall, seeing what that thing's all about. See if it's gonna withstand a few more taps for the rest of the field. But yeah, good run here tonight for most of the drivers from a very difficult track to drive.
I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in here again to CRN, as we're kind of getting to that point of the season where it's maybe a bit of a lull with some of these series, dropping off until the end of September, beginning of October before they pick back up. But once they do, I mean, again, as I mentioned the other night, we're gonna have 8 races over 5 days. It's pretty insane how much racing is gonna be going on here at CRN, and see how tough it is to get down there on the pit road, as Eric Blunt got down to the apron and had to chase it up to the track just to get it back down into pit road. But second round of pit stops already starting right around that halfway point. So, I mean, only about 20 laps, 25 laps on this run here after going about 35 the first run. So, Jimmy, as usual, I have no clue what is going on with the pit strategy here tonight. I have no idea how long they can actually go on fuel, what is actually going on here. But we're halfway. We're about to see second round of pit stops start to commence.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're doing a fantastic job. I mean, if they're out there on older tires still, you can see that, Allman still's got a nice lead. Obviously, that's lead's coming down to an end here as Ty Marasco using the tires to his full advantage here to run down. But, they only got 2 sets of tires. And, when Ty Marasco takes his next set, it's obviously going to be a unique choice, as he had to use everything he had to basically catch up to the 67 of Colin Allman, and Colin's going to end up going in, probably getting his first set of tires. But you get your second set of tires and hope this thing just stays green to the end. I mean, it's not a bad choice. I mean, in reality, but we still have half a race to go, and if you only have 1 set of tires left, I don't know if you want to take it this early.
I mean, we've seen a few of the cars. We've seen Marasco. We've seen John Garrett take tires on their first pit stops. So they're certainly switching up the strategy, and it's gotten Ty Marasco to the lead, just getting around Colin Allman there. But they're going to have to maybe stretch it out now to their third pit stop to have their second set of tires. Not saying it's the wrong strategy, because you never know how this thing plays out. If it stays green the whole way, I don't think it's a bad strategy at all. We'll see how it works out for Ty Marasco. But you've seen a lot of the guys that are coming in this time under green flag conditions taking those set of tires, and it looks like the first one out with the new tires after the pit stop is going to be Robert Kahn in 12th place right now. But it's tough. It's no matter how green VVR is week in and week out, it's still scary being one of those first cars into pit road on a track where you know you're going down at least a lap.
Yeah, I mean, because we seen it last night. People stayed out for a longer run over some of the competitors and found themselves lapping a majority of the field. Now, it was early in the race. It was after their first green flag pit stop, but they ended up trapping a lot of good drivers laps down. And it was a shorter track too, so they were a couple laps down. So a nice big buffer for a few of those drivers, and paid off big for some, and maybe bigger for others, just being able to stretch that few miles early on. But they tend to, like I said, their green rate
our green flag racing, success here is a testament to all the drivers. Like I said, we talked about how hard this track can be to race, how hard it was to get in the pits, how hard, all kinds of different things here at Dover. So it's fast, it can be fun, it's a lot of work, and these drivers are doing a fantastic job here tonight as we just cross the line to finish up 70 laps here. So 50 more laps to go over that halfway mark, and soon, very soon, we'll have another series champion here on Sierra.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been a wild ride, and I know me and Jimmy have talked about it before. It's nothing we ever expected this to be. I mean, Sierra was started up just to take over and cover the our races in core, because we had flat out flaky and just bad broadcasters, and ones that would just commit and then just not show up, or something came up, or this or that, just always excuses, and we just plain and simple got sick of it. We got fed up, and we decided to go up in the booth and do it ourselves. And to get to the point we're at right now, we're still covering the core races, but we've got tons of outsider leagues as well. And I mean, with VVR here, this is our second full season with them, and it's been a blast, and already going to be covering their kind of intermediate series, whatever you want to call it, the one that's going to get us through the rest of the year. They're going to be starting up already next week with their 9-race series, and then getting ready to kick off another season next year in 2026. But we got to finish this one out first, and we got to figure out who's going to be the champion. If it's going to be back-to-back championships for Dalton Kilrow, or if it's going to be Andrew Pileski taking it down right now. Morasco in the lead, but he's going to give it up here because he's coming into the pits. So it's going to hand it back over here to Dalton Kilrow.
Nope.
But it's actually going to come into the pits early as well. So pretty interesting here as Dalton Kilrow stretched out that first run a good amount, decides to come in a little early on this one. Tim Lee looks like he's going to be the last man standing yet to come into the pits.
Yeah, really stretching the tires out, but slowing down and on the apron as we speak. Tim Lee's locking him up just a little bit, make sure he gets slowed down, and no pit road entry penalty there for Tim. Tim's been busy, but runs a pretty good ship here at VVR, like we said. So if you're interested in running, they're always interested in getting a few more drivers on the docket, of course. And you can see right now they have 19. And typically they fluctuate, anywhere between that 19 mark all the way up. I think I've seen as close as 30 here at VVR, and the racing doesn't really change much. It's green. It's just a little more drivers on the track. So yeah, good running here so far tonight. Good running all season, and that's of your man. Thanks to your man right here in the number 24 of Tim Lee. So right now currently sitting in that 17th spot, trying to get a decent finish here.
Yeah, is it fun sometimes when you have a race with a couple cautions and kind of really throw things out of whack and throw strategies out the window? Yes, but more often than not, I like this. I like when it's green the entire way and you get to see drivers have to figure out strategies for the entire race, and starting with their first pit stop, and really have to plan out and kind of reverse engineer the race and try and figure out what they got to do to be the fastest throughout all 120 laps. And right now it's Robert Kahn in the lead by 2.77 seconds over Colin Allman, as Allman had quite a long pit stop, Jimmy. As taking a look at the pit times itself, Robert Kahn in his pit stall for 14.68 seconds. Colin Allman in there for 18.38. Definitely the longest pit stop by 3 seconds, almost 4 seconds compared to everybody else. So not sure what was going on there for the 67.
Yeah, 4 seconds.
Maybe
4 seconds. Yeah, 4 seconds in just the pit stall alone. So I mean that's it's kind of huge. Obviously, you see how 4 seconds on the track right now would be. We don't have that right now, but it's 2 seconds back from Allman to Kahn right now. He's catching him, but you can see how far he is the immediate car in front of Allman. So you can see what 2 seconds looks like. well, it's a second now. So 4 times that was what he lost. So you're looking at a good whole straightaway, Carl.
Well, and Allman's catching him very quickly because he's got 8-lap newer tires right now as well. It certainly is helping him out. And Ty Marasco took another set of tires on this last pit stop. So very, very, very interesting strategy here for the one of Marasco, because not mistaken, that could be the last of the tires for him for the entire race. Dalton Kilroe, Andrew Palesci, back-to-back now, as it was 2nd and 7th at one point for Kilroe and Palesci, but now it's 5th and 6th, and only about a second separating your 2 championship drivers right now, right at the back half of the top 5. But it's been a good one here for the first 2/3 of the race. Jimmy, I think one last time we got to crank it up for the CRN fans out there and give everyone out there at CRN Nation a little love to hear it.
We're at.
Less than 20 laps, not just in the race, in the season. We are down to the final few moments here, the final 20 miles here for Virtual Velocity Racing ARCA Series. I want to thank again our sponsors for the season, Goldline Guardians, Fort Worth Screen Printing, and Helton Crafts and Designs, as they've given us a fantastic season. I want to thank Tim Lee, all the admins behind the scenes as well that make this thing work here in VVR. It's been fun, but we're not done. It is Ty Marasco in the lead, trying to fend off all the other cars all the way to the end here, but he needs to make one more pit stop if I'm not mistaken. I don't think there's any way he can make it all the way to the end. Robert Kahn in second, Colin Allman, Todd Merkel, Justin Lewis for your top 5. Maxwell Caldwell, Dalton Kilrow, Andrew Pileshi, Michael Taylor, and John Garrett for your top 10. We've seen a change of strategy on this last pit stop, and Andrew Pileshi taking 2 tires. I'm not sure if they worked out too well for him, though he did get the lead over Kilrow, but not sure if he had a slip up or what the case is. He's already given that lead up, and now Kilrow is up there in 7th position right in front of him, and he's starting to see that 41 drive away. He's going to need some help, I think, to be able to get this thing done, because we're still trying to figure out the points again ourselves from the side here. Again, we believe that it was a 2-point lead coming into tonight with Pileshi in the lead, but you know, with 1 point difference in between positions right now, it would still be in Pileshi's hands. But Dalton Kilrow had that lap led, and if that is what the difference is, and it makes it even on the season, most likely the tiebreaker would go to Dalton Kilrow with the wins here on the season. And man, what a shame that would be for Andrew Pileshi for having the consistency this season. Talked to him so many times, but I'm not getting a win. And well, not even just getting a win. I mean, Dalton Kilrow has the most wins in the series, so you know he would have had to get multiple wins to get up there and have a chance at that tiebreaker. But it looks like right now Kilrow is in the catbird seat with coming up on 10 laps to go in the season.
Yeah, it's a good spot to be here, you know, obviously. And right now, Ty Marasco, I think, gonna, unless he's the only one on the lead lap. He's got the whole field lapped right now.
He's got a 30-second lead overall.
He's definitely looking to maybe stretch it out. He has a little bit of time to play with. I think he's close, but he might have the strategy here tonight if he can keep enough fuel in that car here tonight. So we will keep an eye on the number 1, because that's just a feat here, obviously, at Dover. To survive, stretch out the fuel, and you know, keep things going here. So 1 might have it. Can't forget about the 67. Obviously, as Colin Allman has been pretty dominant all night. Obviously missed Robert Kahn last week, but out here this week, still trying to get another great finish. Has had a pretty good season for himself here. And that number 21/24 on screen. Dalton Kilrow obviously is in 4th, Andrew Pileshi's in 5th. So the points battle is that close. It's been that close, and I'm sure next season it'll be that close again. If they keep running the way they are, so we're gonna keep watching here tonight to finish this thing out. But down to under 10 laps, down to 9 laps to go.
Marasco gives up the lead. He has to come in. He's not going to make it all the way to the end, so we'll see where he comes out. Colin Allman already passed him. You see him right there going into turn 1 and 2 as Allman back to the lead, and he's got a 4.7 second lead over Robert Kahn. It's going to be a big gap to make up here with less than 10 laps to go at this point, and looks like the 24 of Kahn had a little venture into the wall as well. That right front is certainly banged in a little bit, and that could be why Colin Allman has gotten around him and is kind of checking out here a little bit as well. Take a look behind him, a little bit of rush hour traffic here for Dalton Kilrow, but he's got the position on Andrew Pileshi right now. He is in 3rd. Pileshi is in 4th. And I mean, by our counts, by our estimations, by our throwing darts at the wall, we believe that is enough for Dalton Kilrow to get the championship, but we're not 100% sure ourselves. and hopefully we'll have an official answer before this thing is over. But either way, it's been another great race to end a fantastic season here for VVR. And Jimmy, just another race. Are you surprised at all that even at Dover, which is again not the easiest track that you go to, that these gentlemen have already been 114 laps caution free and only 6 more to go?
No, I'm not surprised. The quality of drivers are good here. You know, even the ones that might be a little bit slower, they give way. They and stay on pace as best as possible. And if they're having problems, they'll bring it down the pits and they'll park it for the night. That's just the way they do it here at VVR. So, but not tonight. With 5 laps to go, I believe all 19 cars are on the track still. No, looks like Hemi. Yeah. Yep, Hemi's the only one that is parked here tonight. Yeah, it's been a great race, great season, and looking forward to see who will be that champion.
I want to thank everyone one more time here, and if you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe, get you in touch with everything that's here and has to offer. But we're about to wrap up this season here for the Virtual Velocity Racing ARCA Series. And once again, it's been another good one, but we're down to 3 laps to go here at Dover. Colin Allman looking to get himself another victory here, as he's been a very, very fast number 67 here tonight, and with different strategies here and there. It's kind of mixed it up here quite a bit, and we weren't sure who was actually going to have the right strategy at the right time, but it looks like it is the 67 that is going to do so. 2 more laps to go around Dover, and it's a 6.5 second lead over Dalton Kilrow, who's now in 2nd place. Robert Kahn in between your points leaders, so there'll be a little extra insurance there for Dalton Kilrow for getting this championship done and going back to back. But it certainly was not easy. White flag in the air. 1 more lap to go here as Allman into turns 3 and 4. Looks like Andrew Peleshi's got a battle on his hands with Maxwell Caldwell, trying to defend off, and a little bit of bumping and banging here as well, as they'll go side by side into 3 and 4. Checker flag in the air for Allman. He's going to get the win here tonight. Kilrow is going to come home in 2nd place. Khan is going to come home in 3rd. Battle for 4th place. Crossover not going to happen, as Caldwell going to get up there into 4th. Peleshi's going to settle for 5th place. Ty Marasco, Justin Lewis, John Garrett, Brandon Meir, and Len McNeese for your top 10. Good comeback for Meir there, as he did start from pit lane. So, with no cautions out there, he had to work hard to get himself a top 10 here tonight. So congrats to him. Congrats to what is most likely unofficially right there your points winner and back-to-back champion, the 41 of Dalton Kilrow. So you're getting a little congratulations from the 81 of Peleschi. But the man doing the dance on the front stretch, Colin Allman, getting it done here tonight in the 67.
Yeah, 67 was just strong from the rip, and like we said, this is a tough one here. So celebrating the win here tonight, and obviously Kilrow for that 2nd place finish. More than likely, we'll be celebrating that championship here. We'll get that official word here soon, I'm sure. So we won't say for sure, but we're almost sure that Dalton Kilrow is your championship winner here again. So, but Robert, like Carl said, I'll just go ahead and bring up the remainder of the list here. Let me clear all this stuff out. Let's see. I'll take all this stuff off the screen as we get ready to talk to the drivers here tonight. So here is the race results. Carl already ran off of most of them, but it's going to be Colin Allman, Dalton Kilrow, Robert Kahn for your podium winners here tonight. And then Maxwell Caldwell, Andrew Peleschi, Ty Marasco, Justin Lewis, John Garrett, Brandon Meyer, Len McNeese for your top 10. Cade Green, Eric Blount, Michael Pratt, Gordon Larson, Todd Merkel, Michael Taylor, Tim Lee, and Tyler Hilton, with Hemi Garardini back in 19th place for your 19 car field here tonight. Biggest mover of the race, got a few of them that were sitting in P and up 9 spots. Ty Marasco, 9 spots in 6th, and Justin Lewis 9 spots in 7th. So some pretty good moves by some of those drivers here tonight.
Unfortunately, I forgot that Colin was having some Discord issues here tonight, so not going to be able to talk to our winner here for the season finale. But we do have our other two, and we have Tim Lee as well. And yeah, exactly. It can we'll kick him out for this one. But we'll go ahead and bring our top 3 here in tonight. We'll start with our third place finisher. There we go. Third place finisher here tonight is going to be the 21 of Robert Kahn. Robert, you had a fast number 21/24 out there again, but looking at the end of it there, did you have a little bit of a brushing with the wall? Certainly seen some right front damage on that car.
Yeah, brushing was being nice. I was trying to go out to the parking lot, man. The thing was pushing. I had to do something, so I didn't have anything for Colin, so I tried to split the last 2 pit stops in half. So I'd have to pit a lap 90 and then to make it to 120. But I thought I could get a big enough gap to make that worth it. But about 5 laps into the run, when I got past, I realized how big of a mistake that was. So I ended up right where I was before I did the strategy call. So I can't complain. Third place is a good finish for me here. I typically is like my Dale Earnhardt to Daytona. This is my Daytona. So to get third, hey, I'm cool, and I didn't end up in the parking lot.
I mean, you tried to, not without an effort. But it's how tough are races like this, where kind of week in and week out here in VVR, you guys typically go green all the way to the end. I mean, how tough is it mentally to try and figure out what's the right strategy? What do you need to do? I mean, is it something that you plan out before the race? Is it something that you got to kind of feel out to how everything is going?
Yeah, I do it by feel. Typically, how I run in practice, and I'll run a full fuel run, and I know pretty much the first pit stop I'm going to skip tires. But mile tracks, I'm not. These tracks, I kind of just try to get a good finish, and I win, of course. But mile and a half, a little bit below that, that's where I'm pretty good at. But yeah, typically I just try to do it by feel. Usually I don't do that strategy I did tonight for the reason why it didn't work. So so I'll leave that in my back pocket for another night when I just want to finish the same as I did before I went into the pit. So
it's kind of one of those you bang off the wall like, damn it, I knew I should have done that.
Yeah, when I went into after about 10 laps, and Colin went in the pits, and I went into turn 1, and I slid up 2 lanes. I said, "Oh, this is no good."
And it's tough, and it's when you get off on that strategy, you make a decision, and you go through the first pit cycle, and all of a sudden you start looking at where everything is playing out, and without a caution, you almost feel like your race is doomed already. So I mean, to fall up here into I had a chance for a top 2, even had a chance at the win here at the end, but either way, you get yourself a podium at the end. So congrats on that. Before we let you go and get out of here, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Well, it's VVR, especially Tim Lee, that this season was. I mean, I know that there was people who won in this season, and there was a lot of high wins for a couple people, but between the top 10 in points, I think anyone could show up and win in this league, and it's not. Where there's some places that you race at where if you have a bad day, you can get a top 2. I mean, if you have a bad day here, you're 15th. It's just everything is that close. I mean, I think qualifying was separated by a 10th for the top 8. I mean, that's crazy. So, I mean, the driver selection for this league, how it's ran, the venting process, it's great. So I got to shout out Tim Lee, and then the amazing broadcast you guys do. I mean, I can't stress that enough. I tell you, I listen to it on the way to work the day after the race, because I don't play it when I'm racing, because I don't want to. I like to listen to it as a surprise the next day. But you guys, you're the best in the business, man, and I appreciate you guys, and I know you guys probably have a hell of a client list because of it.
Oh, yeah, we definitely appreciate the kind words, and it's we appreciate the vetting process that we've done here, and definitely love that you guys are in the mix here, because there's some leagues that we'll take on from for here and there, and realize you're like, I don't mind if they kind of flame out a little bit. This isn't kind of our bread and butter, but you guys, it's tough not to love it when you guys are out here and running 120 laps at Dover, at a track that again, as I've said multiple times, it's not exactly the easiest track, and it didn't look like these cars were the easiest here tonight. But you guys went caution free like you typically do and give some great racing. So props to you guys as well for putting on a great show for us tonight and throughout this whole season.
Yeah, appreciate it. And I know I didn't expect it to go green in practice. There was destruction, and there was a lot of bad words out of my mouth when I was trying to get some of the laps in, and I was thinking, this is going to be awful, and it wasn't. It was great. I mean, I think a lot of people were pushing hard in practice to get it out, to see their limits, and then when they get to the race, they know their limits. I mean, that's great,
Yep. Right, what you want to do and what you want to see. So congrats again on the podium here tonight. We'll let you go celebrate, and hopefully we'll be talking to you soon come next season.
Sounds good, man. You guys take care, and thank you.
You too, buddy. That is your third place finisher here tonight, the 21 of Robert Kahn. Second place here tonight, and I guess unofficially, Jimmy, your championship winner is going to be the 41 here of Dalton Kilrow.
Dalton! It's Jimmy calling about the Cappy.
Yeah, I got you.
Well, a little better result here tonight, and I'm sure a much deserved, unofficially, I guess, because we haven't gotten the word yet, a win for the championship here. So I want to say congratulations, man. Obviously, the big news here is just how, all these green flag runs here with VVR. How are you looking at the taking here tonight? And, what was the main accomplishment? Was it just another race? Was it just stay in front of that 81? What was your goal here tonight? And obviously you accomplished that, but I just wanted to kind of know what your thought process was going in here tonight.
Yeah, going into it, I knew he would be close, and I knew that after Talladega, I was behind the ball, so I just needed to do everything I could to not let him even have a chance to hold on to that points lead. And I for me, my mindset going into tonight was, if I go win the race, it doesn't matter what Andrew would end up doing, because either we would end up tied or I would be a point or two ahead. Luckily, it doesn't seem like he ended up leading any laps tonight. I know I was able to get that, and I think his teammate even passed him coming to the checkered, so I think that might have done it. Obviously, we'll wait on the official word. If that did it, then that was a lot more stressful than it needed to be. He definitely put on the pressure and made me have to earn it. But that's one of the good things about this league, is we've got guys that can go out there and do that, and we can all race clean but race hard and put on shows for you guys and everybody at home.
Yeah, it's been a thrill to watch, each and every week, the green flag racing, and then we've seen the ups and downs from the 41 here a little bit this season. Obviously, last week we knew you were not too happy, with the
That's
results.
an understatement.
with the results, but obviously that's how racing goes. You get your ups and downs, and you can win your championships on your worst races. So if last week was your worst race and you win the championship overall this season, I think you made out pretty well. Well, obviously minus the blood pressure spike for the evening, but I think you ran good, man, all season long. It's good. Like I said, got Barry out there constantly cheering you on, and obviously everybody else that comes back to watch these races for y'all. So from CRN, man, we want to say congratulations, and hopefully we get that official word that you are the champion, but we're pretty sure we are, so we just want to say congratulations. Give you some time for any shots that you may have in that 41 here tonight.
Well, obviously, like I always do, I got to thank you guys for doing the broadcast for us. I know sometimes the green flag racing, once we get all spread out like that, it can be a little straining, especially if there just ends up being nothing going on. But thank you guys for doing that for us all season and last season too, and hopefully for next season as well. You already mentioned him, Barry. Hell yeah, did it for you, bro. Gotta thank Goldline Guardians for screen printing, Hilton Craftsman Designs. Gotta thank the teammates, Ty Morosco, Robert Kahn, Paulson, Derek Paulson, whenever he decides to show up, which isn't very often anymore. I gotta thank Andrew for, again, being that good competition to, we can push each other to do better and fight harder and go nose to nose for this title, and for it to come down to potentially a point or two at the end of 22 races. That's saying something. So got to thank him, everybody else on the track for trying to be as respectful as I can without just completely just slamming on the brakes and getting into the wall. And then everybody at home for tuning in. Was hoping before the race that we could put on a show, and glad we were able to at least do something for you. So time to go celebrate.
Yeah, I appreciate the shout outs, man. I know it's well deserved. So again, congratulations from us here in the booth and everybody else out there. We'll let you go celebrate that second place finish and the championship here with your friends and family.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
That is your second place finisher here tonight, and unofficially that back-to-back points champion here in Virtual Velocity Racing here this season for the ARCA series. But I want to bring in one more, since we won't be able to talk to Colin Allman. We got to talk to the man behind the curtains here at VVR, and the one that runs the show, even though he doesn't get to run in the show as often as he probably would have liked, and certainly a little bit less of him this season. But I mean, clearly his league is in good hands here, and he's got some great talent and got great shows week in and week out. Tim Lee, another season in the books for you guys. I know you got the next one, quick little series for you guys coming up. But I mean, another season here, and the ARCA is done now. Kind of feel like another success for you guys.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was a great season. Our numbers dropped a little bit, but I think we still averaged mid-20s, which is, you guys saw the races. As we kind of got lower on the car count, we were really never below 20. This race went caution-free. The previous super speedway, which never happens, went caution-free. We had one caution at Phoenix. So it's a sweet spot. I'm not going to get too, hell-bent on the car count, because we do have a lot of good, respectable drivers here, and it's a competitive league. It's hard to win in, but yeah, 2 years with you guys already, and this wraps up season 2, and I decided let's hit the ground running. Let's keep the momentum and jump in another car, and let's do a 9-race stint and do try something different, some different tracks and some different configurations. And that's kind of what we're going to do next year, but we'll follow that theme of short track, intermediate, and then super speedway, and might throw some curveballs in there with maybe a roval or something like that. That's what the guys want. So, but yeah, successful season, just awesome group of guys, really respectable. You guys know I've been preaching since the beginning. I want people that want to be here and that you want to feel like this is home, and it cheers and everybody knows your name when you walk in the door, and we have that family vibe, and everybody gets along really good. And everybody's passionate. Let's not kid ourselves. We're coming out here trying to win a race just like everybody else, and that passion bleeds out sometime, but we usually end pretty good. And I'm very, very satisfied. Great group of guys running with me. All the guys, the admin crew, do a great job. You guys know I miss a lot of time just from work travel and stuff like that, and that's what pays the league. So hey, I'll take it. And it works out really good. But yeah, looking forward to next week and getting in that Xfinity car and kind of starting from day one, if you will.
Well, I mean, you mentioned, it's tough to win in this league, but you did have quite a few different winners this season. I know Kilroe and Khan got a bunch of wins on the season, but a lot of different winners out here. Your points champion, again, I'm assuming it's still unofficial with it being Dalton Kilroe, but if it is, it was almost Andrew Pileshi without a single win on the season. And you got to love the fact that regardless of what happened here tonight, that the points championship, I mean, for the last 5 races was within 5 points of each other, and a lot of times tied. But the fact that it comes down to the final race, 22 races through the season, and almost a full year of racing, and only a couple points separating the guys going for the championship in the finale.
Yeah, and you would figure, Dalton had 5 race wins. Robert had 5 wins. Andrew only had 1, but you figure that Dalton would have just ran away with it. But if I remember right, last year it was kind of the same way. Dalton had a lot of wins, and I think he barely, edged it out. But that's what we want, right? We wanted to come into that, pique the interest, keep the spirits high, and make everybody get motivated to go out there and drive really well. So couldn't be happier the way that it finished. Again, tight. I'm pretty sure that Dalton win it. We were just kind of doing some rough math in one of the chat rooms earlier. So, if he did, good on him. He's a good driver. Andrew's a really good driver too. You can't forget about, Khan and Caldwell. And there's just a bunch of talent. It's tough to win in this league. It really is. And those guys that are doing it, how they do it, I don't know. I need to go watch all of the races and take some notes, because I will never be that good, but I'm okay with those guys being good and me getting back and reaping the benefits of it. So.
Hey, I mean, don't sell yourself short. You got yourself a top 20 here tonight. It doesn't matter that there's only 19 cars. You got yourself a top 20.
Yeah, I hit the wall. I came in the pits hot on the first one. I really didn't practice pit entry. I was like, oh, this pit, and then I came in hot and just wrapped it. Other than that, I mean, I didn't kill myself in the pits. I didn't make any mistakes, that kind of stuff. But those are wins to me. It's kind of like, you guys know me. I'm a big golfer. Like sometimes you might not shoot 72, but you might shoot an 80, and you might have played the same ball all day. So this is a win for me.
You get that one birdie that gets you coming back every time. Exactly.
Yep,
yes.
Exactly.
All right, buddy. Well, we want to thank you once again for having us on board for the second season here and going forward as well, and being your broadcasting partners here. It's been a blast for myself and Jimmy for sure. But want to give you some time to come in here and give any thanks to all the sponsors, all the people behind the scenes here that make it happen.
Well, I mean, definitely, obviously thank you guys. You guys do an awesome job. That's why we want to, if I could, put you on a contract for the foreseeable future to do all of VVR, which I think we're going to be good there, because this isn't going anyway. You can see the momentum already started earlier with this 9-race stint, and then already talking about what we're going to do for the first half of the 21 race season, and then the second half in the trucks. So, like I said, excited, but, thank all the drivers. You can't do it without drivers, right? You can't do it without good people. And we have a bunch of great people here. Like there's not one, I look at the list, and there's not one single person that I don't want to be here. As a matter of fact, when somebody doesn't show up, I don't take it personally, but I'm like, man, where are they at tonight? Like, I really want to see them out here. But, we all have lives outside of this. We have kids, and we have kid supports and all that. And, most of the, for the most part, the admin crew, that's where they are. They're probably at a hockey game or doing some horse riding, but family always comes first. That's what I say. So big shout out to everybody that makes this possible, and helps out. It takes a village, right? And I'm excited, man. I got a big smile on my face right now, and I'm gonna go to bed happy and hit the ground running next week.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, once again, I want to thank you for everything that you do for these drivers out here, and obviously, giving us a platform to put out there. Before we let you get out here, Jimmy, you got anything for Tim?
Nah, Tim, just thanks for everything that you do. It shows in the league and on the track. So obviously, you said you're gonna go out there and sleep well tonight, and you should. So another year down, and then another season. So we'll see you back on the track, and Sierra and will be here as long as you have us. So as long as we can keep doing this, we will.
Yep, and I appreciate that. And you guys know me for almost 2 years now. I can't halfway do anything. I got to do it all. I got to be committed and dive in and make everything success. But if somebody asked me if we were recruiting, I said, well, we're not openly recruiting, but if somebody out there knows, like one of the drivers that's in here that knows somebody that wants to join, then they can join, for this 9-race season or whatever. But I'm not going to open it up to recruiting like we usually do, because we got a good crew here, but just to fill a couple spots. So if you know anybody, send them our way.
Sure will.
Yeah, and certainly, I mean, word of mouth is kind of the biggest thing that really helps out in these leagues. Not only for getting recruits in, but usually that word of mouth will bring in, some of your quote unquote better drivers, the ones that you want anyway. Because if you got drivers in here that are good already, they're not going to bring in trash and kind of dirty up the punch bowl at all. So. Yeah, I mean, you definitely got something good cooking here, and I agree that I think this is just one of the smaller races that you had here, and they still almost hit 20 cars out there tonight. So, congrats again on all the success, and we'll be right along here for the ride.
Yeah, man, 20 cars out here tonight. No cautions at Dover. No cautions last week or one the week before. So we got a good track record, but I'm looking forward to it, man. So excited.
All right, buddy. Well, thanks again. We'll let you go celebrate. Let you go to bed with a smile on your face, and we'll see you again pretty soon.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
You too.
You too. That is the owner and the man behind the curtains here at the Virtual Velocity Racing League. And I mean, you heard it right there. They got a little 9-race season that is going to be starting already next week. And you'll get to see the coverage right here on CRN. I want to thank everyone out there once again for tuning in to tonight's season finale here for the Virtual Velocity Racing ARCA series. And it's been a blast for me and Jimmy. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. For myself and Jimmy here in the CRN booth at Dover, we'll see you at the track.
Peace.